Let's discuss the mistakes that every man makes at the start of dating or already in a relationship. A girl does not come up with these checks as villainous plans. She does them emotionally, on instincts. Therefore, when a man shows these flaws, he stops to attract women on the fundamental level. Acting cold and distant. The most ancient and effective technique of bending men is pretending to be not interested. The girl thinks, I should be mysterious, intriguing, keep him interested. Therefore, I will not be the first to write. I will rarely call, and I will not confess my feelings. But really, she just needs proof that her chosen one is not weak, but a man who knows his own value. She can cancel the meeting, respond for a long time, disappear for half a day, vaguely say if she's free for a meeting. She acts like an intelligence officer. She observes and makes notes with a pencil and a notebook, just not consciously. In response, never show feelings and emotions. Demonstrate as much indifference as possible to those games, or even be distant yourself. But don't play offended. Men often confuse coldness and resentment. Indifference is calm, and your hot temper is a sign of weakness. Keep it fun. It's games after all. Little conflict. You know each other for just a couple of weeks, and suddenly in conversation or in text, massive misunderstanding shows up. You should know, this is not an accident. This is a small attempt to bend you. Here you don't have a task of proving to be right. Your task is to show strength. You are not afraid of conflict situations, and don't start a tantrum because of the disagreement. You see a girl for 2 weeks. There is sympathy, but there was no intimacy. The girl begins to show discontent, hints that you should buy her roses. You can say, I would give you a bouquet, but we are not in a full-term relationship. If she starts to make a fuss about it, you say, well, listen, you haven't been to my house. You didn't cook any breakfast. What kind of relationship is this? And you give her the opportunity to fix it. Invite her for today or tomorrow. Your task is to calmly play the situation to your advantage. Competitor in a relationship. The next way to test you is to create the appearance of competition. The woman shows that there are many men around her who want to take care of her. She encourages you to make moves. Hurry up, the other guy can be faster. Here again, I will highlight 2 reasons for this behavior. The first group, women who always look for a satisfying emotional high. They love to create love triangles and play with your feelings. You should not get involved with such individuals. You will lose your dignity and gain only problems. The second option, a woman who still doubts you and keeps her search mode on. She talks about an ex who still loves her or a guy in the friend zone. In this case, we either show sympathy or put her in a guilty position. The girl says, my ex wrote me again, confessing his love and all. You tell her, and you said what? She embarrassingly, well, I said that nothing could happen between us. You say, why are you even answering him? This is how you show your strength, and that you are not interested in those kinds of games. But more importantly, you make her feel guilty for maintaining such questionable communication. If she does this again in the future, you should become even more cold and distant to show that you can be easily lost if she repeats the same mistake twice. The disappearance. The next test. A woman can disappear very abruptly, stop writing, calling, and so on. The cause is unimportant. Just don't start chasing a woman and figure out what's the matter. That's what she wants, to see your affection. When you fall for this trick, it frustrates and causes discomfort. You need to get used to the fact that the actions of a woman that create discomfort are unacceptable. If a woman behaves like this, you must be ready to stop this relationship. If you feel that letting her go is scary and painful, you are already on the hook, and she's in the dominant position. A man should be generous. This is a test to check how much you are willing to invest in her. She wishes to go to an expensive restaurant or to get an expensive gift. The degree of audacity can be different, from petty requests to completely inappropriate claims. or it may be expressed in the constant consumption of your time, like turning you into a taxi driver who drives not only a girl but also her friends anywhere. Do not think that those investments will raise your value in her eyes. Never do something that you don't want to do. Let's say if I didn't like the hookah, and the woman at the first meeting starts asking for it. I would refuse, not because of the money, but because she thinks only about herself. I did not plan to sit in a cloud of smoke, and there was no question of my plans on her part. It is easiest to pass this test when you have self-respect, and not when you are paranoidly looking for a catch in every request to buy her ice cream or go to a coffee shop. Test for assertiveness. She checks if a man can take what he wants. Have you seen a woman who at the first meeting is the first to offer herself? Well, this lady was clearly not worth considering for a long-term relationship. This is not about how to make the girl sleep with you. It is important that she understands. You would definitely do this if you wanted to. It is impossible to fake such self-confidence. A woman simply feels it. Start by stopping begging her for intimacy. Needlessness is the first step to a strong position. Leadership test. The purpose of the next test is to determine the degree of your success. Success is not about the size of your wealth or a position in a society, but how much you are in demand among other women. If the girl asks, "Do a lot of women write to you?" you should say, "I don't answer a lot." She sees you are selective. You are already used to the attention of women, and in general, she's lucky that you talk to her. If she asks, "Why are you still alone? What's wrong with the other girls?" take advantage of the situation. Tell her that you do not like women who play hard to get. If she takes a hint, she will not inflate her worth by being distant with you. The same goes for questions about your previous relationships. You must understand, a woman will impose what you said on herself and predict your behavior in a relationship. Therefore, you should not tell her how you were dumped and were not appreciated. It is also better not to criticize your ex as a person at all. Show confidence and a calm attitude to failures. Voice your needs and rules in relationships, and say that those principles and rules were alien to your ex, so you decided to go your separate ways. Behavior of a strong man. I want to emphasize once again that a girl does not prepare a list of checks. She does not invent cunning provocations at night. Everything happens unconsciously, and her interest in you also rises or falls unconsciously, depending on your reactions to her behavior. Your reactions to such games cannot be fully conscious either. At the beginning of a relationship, it is relatively easy to constantly monitor these nuances. However, the more the girl gets closer, the more the man relaxes. Inevitably, the moment will come when you fall asleep and make a mistake. To emerge victorious in the situations described above, it is not enough to remember the correct movements and words. Yes, at first some aspects of male behavior will have to be acted. But the purpose of such a practice is not self-deception, but the training of correct reactions. As you gain experience, you will begin to feel what is acceptable for you and what is not. This means that you begin to gain self-respect, and self-respect is the universal trump card that covers any female manipulation or test.